I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Two owls, one pod. We're back. That's right. You didn't think it was going to happen, but you're being tortured once again. We're the spinoff from the web series, The Two Dicks. We became the Talking Dicks comedy podcast. And then we kept getting the boot from various social media platforms because of our name. They thought we were some sort of like gay porn thing. But we are. We had to change it to Two Owls and One Pod, and today we have another special guest. I'm very excited about this. And Al Romas, my partner in Clearwater, Florida, is going to tell us who the special guest is. Al, who is it?
Yes, welcome everyone. And we do have a special guest. Look at this guy. He's got 2 pages I printed up of
Holy shit.
biography. Not like the usual deadbeats that come on this goddamn thing.
Wow, this guy has a heartbeat.
Promote this thing. Look at this. This is Steve White, everybody. Let me give you a little background on Steve White. Steve White's been in over 5 Spike Lee movies. How about that? Do the Right Thing, Clockers, Get on the Bus, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X. He also is in Coming to America, in which hometown buddy Eddie Murphy from Roosevelt, Long Island, will dip into that. He's also been in Harlem Nights, Ford Fairlane. You've seen him on all the TV shows, you know, MTV, Comic Strip, Evening at the Improv, Arsenio Hall. He's covered the NHL and the Major League Baseball for Comedy Central. He was on a recurring role on Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Why is he on this? This makes no sense. Why would he come here?
It makes no sense at all. It's really...
He's vetted. He's vetted
in the union. We're going to find out why.
He's going to get a huge retirement.
Roosevelt, Long Island. That's also Eddie Murphy, Howard Stern. Public Enemy, not far from Massapequa, where I grew up, and went to Nassau Community College. There you go. And that
is our podcast for the day. Thanks for tuning
comedy
in.
At local club. I'm telling you, we got to promote. We did stand up at comedy local clubs. He's here for us. I worked with Steve. I don't think he remembers it, but I worked with him at a local club, early '90s. And I had just come from out of the Navy to back to New York, and I got the gig at a local club, and the headliner was Steve White, 1992, I guess. That club was in Queens.
Rainy Night House?
No, sir.
You have 5 seconds.
The other one that was downstairs, Jimmy's Comedy Alley?
Jimmy's Comedy Alley.
You want a brand new car.
That's right.
With that as well, a new car.
Yeah. Well, welcome, Steve, and thanks for joining us here on Two Owls,
thanks,
One
man.
Pod. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So now that we've given all your credits, do you mind telling us you're not in a bunker? It looks like a sun-filled place. It looks kind of schwanky. What is this your dwelling?
Yeah, I guess yes. Yeah. It's my house.
Yeah,
here
and
in Florida.
Nice, very nice. But you also used to live near me. I'm in Studio City, California.
I'm right on Willowcrest over there, right off Lancashire.
Mm-hmm. I know it well. Yes. And you're a world traveler. You are working McCurdy's Comedy Club in Florida. Where's that
Theater,
again? Comedy Theater. I apologize.
Yes. That's in downtown Sarasota.
So you're land and sea, and you're going to jump on the Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Sea as well.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks on Harmony.
Yeah.
That's I know.
My question is, what are you doing tomorrow morning?
I'm playing in Bradenton Country Club tomorrow morning with my mother's doctor.
Of course, that would have been our first guess. Who else would you play golf with? Wow.
Dr. Gainey.
Bradenton, who is the guy? I'm thinking of another guy now. Who's the guy who's a golf pro? The guy from Visani's? Is there a guy?
Eric?
No. Doesn't his friend doesn't he have a friend who's a golf pro?
Steve?
I don't remember his name.
Landscape guy. He's the landscape guy.
I thought he was the pro.
Yeah. No. He's the guy.
Oh, is that Sarasota or is that Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte?
No, the Bradenton Country Club is in Bradenton.
No, but I'm saying the one this guy is a landscaper. Is that the one you're going to?
That's Bradenton. And maybe
that's Bradenton.
Yeah.
Bradenton for people who really can't afford Sarasota. That's pretty much. Yeah, it's
I'll go
close.
I'll go there for free golf.
Exactly. exactly. So you're at McCurdy's now. Unfortunately, this is airing Monday. You were at McCurdy's last weekend, and let's just say it went great. You were doing shows at
Fantastic.
noon, 2:00. Less like those early shows at McCurdy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sunday's 5:30. But
there's a big Hollywood producer in the audience, and he signed you to a 3-picture deal. So congratulations.
Aw.
now let's speaking of that, I opened up with these 5 Spike Lee movies. Give us a little background how that happened, how far in comedy you were, and what was the situation for you to appear.
You started out by saying the people that are from Roosevelt. You missed Dr. J, by the way, Julius Irving from Roosevelt.
Oh, true.
You said Public Enemy. That's Flavor Flav and Chuck D, and also Aaron and Damian Hall from the R&B group Guy, if you remember Guy.
I don't.
So Eddie Murphy, I went to high school with him, but he was 3 or 4 years ahead of me, or whatever, like 3 years, maybe 4. And as he was getting blowing up Saturday Night Live and all this stuff, and he bought a house in Jersey in Alpine Cliffs, and they called the house Bubble Hill. Lots of stuff went down at Bubble Hill. I think the Robin Givens, Mike Tyson thing happened around that time.
Wow.
Eddie was kind of still hanging out with people in Roosevelt, and so he would throw parties at Bubble Hill, and everybody would go, and I would go to these parties, and they were fantastic and some beautiful women, and everybody's just a little bit older than me, but I was doing comedy, and I was
okay.
I had started in '84, and this is 1989. I'm sorry, this is 88. Okay. So party at Bubble Hill. I'm playing. It sounds crazy. I'm playing pool with Eddie Murphy. By the way, Shari Headley from the movie Coming to America, who was the queen, taught me how to tongue kiss.
Well, we'll save that story for for a minute after this.
There's gonna be a
move
part
this
2.
story along, and let's get there.
what are you doing tomorrow?
Taught me how.
We're playing pool, and Eddie, he says, "What's going on with you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of pissed off because I'm going up for commercial auditions, and I can't get the auditions because I don't have a SAG card. And you got to have work to get a SAG card, but you have to have a SAG card to get work."
Catch 22, yeah.
So he's like, "That's no problem. We're doing the movie. Come to Hoyt's Kimmelhorn tomorrow at the train station and speak to John Landis. We'll put you in." That's how I got in the movie Coming to America.
He'll speak to John Landis?
He told me, wow. John Landis, tell him who I am. And Eddie said, put me in the train scene. So they were shooting the train scene, famous train scene on Coming to America. Right. I go, Landis, I'm full of piss and vinegar. I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Landis, playing pool with Eddie yesterday. I'm Steve White, the guy he sent over." John's like, "Yeah, all right, well, figure out something to say in this scene." Eddie's about to ask Lisa to marry him, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "That's great."
Wow.
Just go up to him and go, "So what do you think? You should marry this girl. She's a wonderful girl. She's fine as hell. You should marry her." Landis goes, "That's exactly what you should say. So what do you think?" So all I said was, "So what do you think?" 5 words, 1988, on the train, Coming to America. 5 words gets you in the Screen Actors Guild.
Wow.
I got paid for the day, $1,200 for the day. Ooh. Guess how much it cost for dues to get into the Screen Actors Guild?
$1,200.
And boom, boom. So that's how that happened, and I was in Coming.
I can't believe you're playing pool was Eddie Murphy #1, but it all makes sense now that you're telling the backstory. But just the fact that that's how the movie business can work. You can like swing, miss, and then one thing, go to the guy, say this, and and all of a sudden you're in. You're in the machine. And everything just starts opening up after that. Amazing.
And at the premiere of Coming to America, still full of piss and vinegar because I know I'm going to be on the screen in a couple of minutes. I see myself. It's the first time I've ever seen myself in a movie. It's the first movie I ever did. And on the way out, Spike Lee's there. I'm still full of piss and vinegar. I was like, "Yo, man, hey, I'm Steve White. I was from the stage." I said, "So what do you think? I heard you're doing a little movie called Do the Right Thing. I want to get down with that." He just blows me off and goes, "That's Robbie Reed behind me. She's in casting. See her." I saw Robbie Reed. Rest is history.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Got the audition for Do the Right Thing, wrote the scene, put the word soliloquy in there, which I think got me the gig. And
you wrote that? You wrote that part?
That when I cursed out I wrote that. Did I get a writing credit? No.
Of course, that was an
You want to continue to be in Spike Lee movies? You don't ask for one.
Well, that's how that happened. I was like, this is easy.
And I remember that
this
so
is easy.
vividly. That scene, I mean, really sticks out. And I remember seeing it. I was in the Navy in Norfolk. I went to see Do the Right Thing at 3:00 in the afternoon, and that scene really, sticks out, man. That's awesome. Wow. For the second movie, Jesus.
Al, remind me to swing back. I was at the Navy Air Force Base in Norfolk last week.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Oh, okay. I don't know
We'll
what
talk
you were
about it
doing
now. I
there.
can tell you, but
I don't know what you were doing there, but all right.
I was coming back from Gitmo.
Oh, that's I saw that on
Oh.
Instagram. You were in Gitmo.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Wow.
we need 3 hours.
I was
Yeah,
entertaining the squids, as they say.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
Wow.
How long were you in Gitmo? Was it just the day or?
No. It's kind of weird down there. They have days that have incoming flights and days that have outgoing flights, and then between that time, you're stuck. You can't go anywhere. So
Otherwise, you get shot down. Yeah.
Yeah, I was feeling like I was in the movie Get Out because it had like kind of like a weird vibe. Like couldn't go anywhere if I wanted to. They had internet. They had all types of wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
The golf course is horrible. It's the worst golf course I've ever played on. Gravel.
Well, it's very arid, right?
Yeah,
it's just disgusting.
Not really known
it's
for
not,
their golfing.
Yeah.
And they got banana rats, which are like possum things running around.
Oh, jeez.
Check it off the list. I was at Gitmo. Done. The
Wow.
water is a waterboard. Thank you.
Now, where did this come from? This gig? What is this?
Daniel Dugar. He books. I did the Marines at Okinawa a couple years ago. Also, he books old type tours, and he has a couple of regions that he does. He was doing some of the series. Said, "You want to come down here for no money?" I was like, "Sure."
Were you with other comics? A couple other guys or girl or?
Me, Daniel Dugar, and this woman named it's not Apollonia, Andromeda. No, yeah, Andromeda.
Andromeda.
They had pictures up because Butch Bradley is going back there. He was there July 2nd, so he was there 3 days ago.
Okay. Wow.
And somebody else.
So how long is the flight from where you are? Is it 2 hours?
Oh, I flew from Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they put you. It's a commercial plane.
Excuse me.
Decommissioned, so it was like a Sun Country jet, but it's full of like women and friends and lovers and dogs and cats and whatever going down to get to see their people get home.
Right.
And so it was. I thought it was going to be like a Navy jet, but no, it was 737, and the flight is 2 hours and 45 minutes from Jacksonville.
Right.
What were the temps in Gitmo in end of June? What were you looking at?
It was hot, but they said it was hotter in Dallas, so it was like a low 90s.
Okay. Wow. I was there for Thanksgiving in '88, and it was I think 105. And it was November.
Gitmo?
Yeah, in Gitmo.
So you did the whole water. I mean, what the hell is it called? The lighthouse and all that stuff.
Yeah. We were there for I guess 48 hours or so. But yeah, it was 100. I mean, it felt like 150 outside. It was just absolutely brutal. I didn't even, I didn't play golf. So
you're damn right. I ordered a code red. You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall. Sorry.
They were showing that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's mandatory.
I guess so. So you started. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit back. Tell me, you're this guy in Roosevelt.
Yeah.
But you went to Nassau and you're gonna, whatever your thinking is at that point. But what makes you go, I'm gonna, I want to do some comedy? Was it seeing Eddie Murphy do comedy? Was it just in your head? Did you love comedy as a kid? Did you watch the Tonight Show and Rickles and all that shit? Or where'd it come from?
I was more like I always say I wasn't the class clown, but I clowned with class. But we were funny guys, and we were snapping, your mother joke, you so black, you so ugly, all that stuff. Street corner, snapping, making comedy tapes and stuff like that. So I always had that in the background, having fun from a kid, just growing up. Then I go to National Community College, and my English teacher, Eileen Knight, I don't know why I remember it.
Shout out.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully she's still alive. If not, she probably. Anyway, she goes, "You should do comedy." I'm like, "No, I'm an accounting major. I'm going to get a Lamborghini Countach. It's going to have CPA plates on it." That's what I wanted.
That was the dream.
You had a vision board on your fridge. Yeah. You had pictures. It was like,
wow, that is pretty far from being a comedian. I'll be honest. I'm going to do
Do the Right Thing didn't really happen.
She goes, "You should try comedy." I go, "No, I don't want it. I mean, all right." I said, but I really want to be an accountant. She's like, you're no accountant. What are you, crazy? You know what that means? I was like, no, I could be like the guy who gets people to join the firm and, go out on meetings. She's like, yeah. No, you're not doing that.
Yeah,
so
the funny accountant.
I went out to Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn.
Oh, Massapequa. Shout out. Boom.
First time I did stand-up comedy, Richard M. Dixon's White House.
Do you know this? Let me just interrupt a second. Do you know this place, Al? Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It was a man named Richard Dixon. I believe it was his name, or he might have changed it legally, but he looked like Nixon. So he would host these shows.
Looked like Nixon. Dick looked like Dick.
Dick Nixon, Dick Dixon, and he hosted shows. And I think that was the first, and maybe at the time, right, the only place on Long Island doing comedy.
That was before my time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
because I didn't meet Steve until in Los Angeles. I was coming out for pilot season.
Well, this is mid 80s, probably. Late
phone
80s.
Call coming in.
But
what's the score?
Richard Dixon. This give us a little of this. This is interesting. We have a lot of Long Island listeners, and Dixon's White House, Massapequa.
Richard M. Dixon's White House, and he and his wife. I still remember his wife. She was this buxom, like gray-haired woman, very nice. I used to have a great drink there. It was a Coca-Cola Italian. You know the Italian ices, in the yellow cup, Mariano's, whatever it's called. Coca-Cola Italian ice with some type of alcohol in it, and they whipped it up. That was a fantastic drink. So anyway. My first night on stage at Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn, I destroyed. 45 minutes, blew the place.
45 minutes?
45 minutes. My first night on stage, it was all Richard Pryor material. Kill!
He's good. That guy he's pretty good.
And they go,
damn,
you can't do that. I'm like, what? I write your own stuff. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no, it's true because you didn't. I witnessed that numerous times, and say Woody Allen, Richard Pryor, a bunch of that. We thought we were doing an imitation because we were doing it for our friends, right? Weren't you doing that for your friends as well? So you're like, I could do this. They're laughing. So you don't know the rules.
There is
of
no
comedy.
now there's books and podcasts and online, but we didn't
have that. There was no roadmap.
There was nothing. You had no one helped you. There was nothing. You went to a club and you thought, yeah, I could do Richard Pryor. I'm going to kill.
45 minutes of kills.
Was it Dixon?
Some people actually thought he was Richard Pryor.
I forgot who told me. It could have been like Bob Nelson or somebody. One of these guys.
Right.
Bill Freiberger. You know these guys.
Wow.
But you can't do that, man. Welcome to come back, but you got to write your own material. I'm like, all right, well, I'll try that.
Did you go back to Dixon's?
Oh, yeah.
Were you like, oh, okay,
like my regular gig when I was a
wow. So you knew Minervini and Dave Hawthorne and all those guys that really started. Rosie, Bob Woods, of course.
Bob Woods,
yeah, Woodsy. These were Long Island legends. Yeah,
I know those names. I obviously know Richie, but those names I've heard before in conversation.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy was in a group, the Identical Triplets. It was Eddie Murphy, Bob Nelson, and what's the other guy's name?
Rob Bartlett.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Identical Triplets. Yeah. Wow. So you
worked at East Side Comedy also. Both, one in Huntington and the one in Huntington Station. Stairs on the railroad track, and then Chuckles in Mineola and Governors.
Another Minervini club.
I actually performed at Chuckles.
You did? Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like Chuckles.
Good club. Back in the day, that was a hot room.
I think Messina booked me in there. Is that possible? Rick Messina when he was
maybe. He also had the Rainy Night House in Queens.
Right. When he started, I think he started as the bartender at East Side. Yep. Yeah. And then started, looking around and thinking I could do this. And he did. So you're at Massapequa, you're doing that. And then Jimmy's Comedy Alley, you wander into there. Were you a regular there?
Gary
Grant. Holy moly. Gary Grant. I think he owes me $50. I think Gary Grant.
That sounds about right for a comedy story. Everybody's owed $50.
Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. So he gets you. Okay.
The other thing was starting out, I had a car. I had a Datsun 810 that I bought off my dad.
Woo!
So I can go into the city, pick people up at the comic strip or Dangerfields, go upstate, make that $150. You know, with Rick Aviles and other people, and Maurice.
Wow.
Rick Aviles,
That was huge.
that's a
Yeah.
name.
If you have a car as an opener or a new guy, that's huge. I mean, you can go do gigs and leave New York or Long Island. That's amazing.
Connecticut to whatever the hell the name of that club was, the Treehouse.
The Treehouse in Connecticut.
Brad
Axelrod.
Axelrod.
Right. I think he's still booking it. Isn't he still booking maybe not the Treehouse, but something else up there, a casino.
Booking Mohegan Sun.
Mohegan Sun. Yeah. Maybe,
okay.
maybe I don't know. Okay. Can't keep up with this, but
so you're on Long Island, you're headlining, you're doing it, and then when do you go to LA? What brings you? Anything bring you there, or you just thought it's time?
It was those movies. Coming to America and Do the Right Thing. I was like, I gotta get to LA. I finished my sophomore year. I got
I'm the hottest actor in the world. I got to get down there.
So as a matter of fact, no, wait. I finished my freshman year and I moved to LA and I slept on Martin Lawrence's floor. That's my first apartment on King Boulevard in Burbank.
Wow.
And you knew Martin.
I slept on the floor.
You knew Martin just through the clubs, or how did
Martin
you know?
Martin was in Do the Right Thing.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I may come out to Los Angeles. He's like, well, you can stay with me. So and Martin's very particular. Stayed with him, and I auditioned for a commercial. Heinz Ketchup, first audition. Got it.
No, come on.
Come on. This guy.
This is easy.
He was using Richard Pryor's material again.
I can't believe it.
No commercials for the next 15 years. But the first one I got. And then so as I was out there, I started getting the feeling like I should go back to school. I should go back. So after like 6 months or something in Hollywood, I moved back. Still got the house in Roosevelt, Long Island. My sister has it, where I was born and raised. Went to summer school, got back on schedule, and got my associate's degree with my class that I started with. So
okay,
Hollywood story. And then I went to Adelphi.
Oh, you went to I remember you had gone. So you graduated at Adelphi. Is that in accounting? Accounting.
And if I had to go to school one more semester, I would have dropped out. Because at that time, when I was graduating from college, 87-ish? Yeah, 87, right? No, come on, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was really working. I was doing gigs, and I was, Connecticut, New Jersey.
Well, it's the comedy boom, right? I mean, the comedy boom is happening.
You're comic strip, Catch a Rising Star, Dangerfields, driving, doing gigs. And I said if I had to go to school one more semester, I would have dropped out. And my math teacher, one of my math teachers, I was like, listen, I know I'm not doing well in this class, but I can't stay here. So I don't know what the hell that was. So he passed me, and I got my bachelor's from Adelphi, and that was the last accounting I ever did.
But you had a backup plan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you never executed. Yeah.
I mean, that's smart, though. I mean, most comics, I'd say 99%, do not have a backup plan. It's
This is my backup
this.
plan.
This is going to work.
Is my backup plan.
That's right.
From our Patreon members, it's floating me.
My father and mother are educators. My father was the principal of Amityville Junior High School.
Oh.
And my mother taught
didn't know that.
For 30 years in Freeport. So they paid for my college. I never had a dorm. I always stayed at home. I was like, let me just finish out and get the damn plaque on the wall as a thank you.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now when so you're doing now, okay, college is over, you do the road, right? You're headlining across the country, doing evening at the Improv and those kind of shows and doing it. When does because that's how I met you, really. And how does cruising start? How do cruise ships get in your world?
What was the one thing we did with Bill Boggs? What did Bill Boggs host? Half-hour comedy
tonight.
Comedy Tonight
at the Laugh Factory. Yeah, I did that show. I was killing it.
Oh wow, with you and Frankie Pace.
You know who's calling?
His accountant.
Al.
It's Richard Dixon.
Al Romas and Al Ducharme.
Wow. So Al Ducharme and Al Romas.
Oh, we've never had a call taken on our show. It's great.
It's McCurdy.
Is it?
Oh, it is McCurdy.
Les.
Confirming.
You're going to be here tonight?
He's got a movie career, commercial career for his country clubs. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Love,
Multiple homes. And here we go.
That was Eddie Murphy.
No. There we go. God, now we're talking from Bubble Hill.
So I don't know if you heard my joke. I said it's his accountant.
Steve, we got a problem.
You cannot do your own taxes anymore, dude.
He pays his taxes, I'll tell you that.
Bro, my phone was off, but it rang through the computer. So
right. Oh, because you have the permission to.
All right. Yep. We'll let it go. But what? Because I'm interested when people how they get. I'm always interested. Like, how do they get cruises? Where are you in your life when you go?
Oh, I can tell you how you get cruises.
I want to do a cruise. When did it for you, or when did the thought come in? You
have a nice house in Studio City on Willowcrest Boulevard, Willowcrest Avenue. You have boy-girl twins, and you have a wife who doesn't want to fucking work.
And that's the decision.
That's how you start cruising.
That's the accounting.
That's a jump-off point.
Yeah, that's the accounting degree coming in. Fuck, I better get.
And then you have, you go into the Funny Bones, and every time you work there, the staff comes out and goes, "You're fantastic. How come you never come through here?" Then you have a conversation with who's the guy that books the Bones, a little Stroop,
Dave Stroop.
He goes, "Your last name is not Wayne's. It's Wednesday night." That's how you start doing cruising. 2011.
Yeah, boy, that is goddamn accurate right there.
At least he was honest with me. He said, "Your last name's not Wayne's. You're funny as hell."
Yeah.
And I got Vince Morris on lockdown because he lives around.
Wow.
Asses and seats. Still to this day.
Yeah.
And that's when
now more than ever.
And these Instagram
more than ever.
Whoever they are, these people are leapfrogging. They're not that funny. They have 10 minutes of material, but because they have a following, they're putting asses in seats.
During the pandemic, he did the little stick figures and the uncle and the aunt and blah 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 blah, and he did the little movies. He was at McCurdy's 5 shows. Everything was sold out. I didn't say his name, but I was like, God damn.
Yeah. And these guys with the podcast, the guys with the pods too, it's great because it's your audience. You go there, they're doing 2 guys do 25 each. And then they do Q&A for a half hour. Everyone takes a picture.
90-minute show.
Happy. They make
killing
money, and it's they're middle acts, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You know what I mean? Because they're only doing 25, and they're like a headliner. So the day it's changed, that whole thing, I get it, and that's why it's great that we have these cruises to get on and go do it. Steve, do you prefer the cruise? Like, do you prefer the comedy club cruise? Do you prefer one show type of theater, 2 different shows? Like, what's your preference on that?
Well, I noticed as I was doing it, and again, I started 2011 when it was kind of still frowned upon to be a cruise comedian.
Stigma. But that was bullshit, by the way. We'll get back to it. Go ahead.
Yeah. And now everybody wants in, and they're like,
they want in, all right.
But I like the reps. You know what I mean? Because I find myself, without setting out to be a better comedian, I find myself being a better comedian when I get the reps in. So I'd rather do the reps than be on a ship for a week and do 2 shows.
Yeah.
I'd rather work.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. My only thing is it becomes a bit of a grind where I would take, I think 2 nights off would be great. When
you know what it was
early, then you go 3, 3, 2, 2.
I'd rather not have that third show. The third show is not necessary.
Exactly.
And again, we just did 13, which is not that bad because Vegas you do 14. It was when they were doing 17. Do you remember on the comedy clubs they were doing 17 shows? It was
when Oasis came out, it was 21 shows.
Oh my
7
Lord.
nights, 3 a night, 7 nights. I wasn't there, thank God. But I've heard that, and then that lasted. Simeon was there from day one. 21 shows a week,
crazy
every week.
Get tired of hearing yourself.
Now, if you're getting paid 3 times the money, you do it. Let's do 25. But
hell yeah.
When you start doing the math, like how much am I getting per show now?
Right. Well, that's a lot of the guys won't do it. A lot of the older guys are like, for a few more $100, I'd rather, just have 5 days off. I don't need to work like that. But I agree with you. I think, Steve, I think the week goes faster.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah.
Working. So, But
Yeah,
yeah,
it keeps you
got in
sharp. It
around.
does.
You got in around the time it was a stigma. People thought you go on ships to where your career goes to die. There was a lot of that.
Yeah,
kind of
but there were
thing.
the acts that were on there kept up that facade. They're like, yeah, man, it's
Oh,
tough
yeah.
out there because they were making coin more than what we're making, I think.
And they didn't want
Many of them
anyone.
were. They didn't want
coming
anybody. They were getting as much work as they wanted.
That's the $8,000 a week for 2 shows days.
Oh yeah. I still
Yeah.
get that. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Is it you're just getting half?
You.
A joke. There it was.
Hey now. What was I going to say? What was your first cruise line?
Carnival.
Royal? Oh, Carnival.
Still with them too. Carnival put my kids through school. I have nothing bad to
Nice.
say about Carnival. Love me some Carnival.
No, people. The Carnival comics that work Carnival love it. They're like, nope, all
They
good.
do. There's a
The cabins aren't great.
Mhm.
They
you
accept
go
it.
in, it's one of those you got to go in knowing it. You can't act like you're
Yes.
surprised. And yeah, the cabins aren't good. Blah blah blah. Shows are fun, and the rest
And
of
it goes
just a
by
regular,
quick, right?
It's a regular
Same
cruise.
thing.
Yeah, and you don't feel like somebody's looking over your shoulder, like trying to get you in trouble. Like when you do some not royal, but you do some other lines. It's like, "Ooh, you said that." The cruise director was in the back, and the ED, all
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to hear that.
Do you do other lines other than Royal?
Carnival and Royal. Carnival
Yeah.
and Royal. I was trying to get in on Celebrity, but it's like I don't want to be out every week anyway, and I get enough for those, and I'm kind of loyal to Carnival and Royal.
And
That's
how
a good
often?
balance.
What do you do? Do you do 2 weeks on, a couple weeks off land?
Yeah,
How do you
typically 2 or 3 cruises a month.
Mhm.
The Royals been giving these 2 weeks back to back for the rest of the year, and it becomes long. But I'm not doing it now, and I miss it because I'm at McCurdy's. I'm like, I could be out making some money.
Well, that's the problem with
Roatan and Cozumel and all this shit.
Yeah, but that becomes the thing when you do a club because you kind of go, well, I am away Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. So for 7 days, I could make triple this. What am I doing here? I get that too.
Plus golf.
But it's important. It's important to do those club gigs. I think.
It is.
It's a little different audience.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the comic strip in New York a week and a half ago. 50 people on a Wednesday.
Right.
And I did the Borgata. That was fun. And I saw my friends and family, and then get back on a ship in 10 days.
Will you work Long Island, Governors, brokerage?
Yeah,
Do you do that?
But I'm catching it. I used to work the brokerage every first week of August because that's it ties in with my high school graduate reunion. And he had me at the brokerage like for the last 5 years, that first weekend. And this is the first year it's not happening. And the seats slowed down, even on Long Island.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
James, he's like, hey, listen, do the little giggle room at the Governor's instead of this room. Pay the same thing.
Yeah.
He didn't one of those internet guys and made a shitload of money. Can't get mad at him.
Right.
No,
it's a different day. I mean, what can you do? I mean, seriously, it's I mean, I look at who's at like Side Splitters in Tampa, and I'm in the business, and I might know 8 out of 15 coming acts. May have heard of them, and then you look at their seating, and they're sold out. I don't know who they are. They're sold out.
They're doing afternoon shows. Some of these guys.
Yep. And
selling out
shows,
like a 5 o'clock show, 5 to 7, and then they have the regular comedy show. It's just like the owners are killing it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about just hiring a young kid because it's all social media presence and all that stuff. The TikTok, I don't even know what TikTok is. So I'm thinking, 20-year-old.
No, I'm laughing because I have the app on my phone. That's as far as I got. And then we're on TikTok with the podcast, and Al handles that part of it. I'm like,
but I get it. Yeah, man. Hire a young guy, and
or a broad.
Would you have him go
hire
out?
some young broad?
See,
we just got canceled. We just got canceled.
What if you just wrote? What if you wrote an act or help a young, great-looking kid write an act and promote and let him blow up and sit
Matt
back
Rife.
and but he didn't. That's kind of weird. Like, what's your take, Steve? We've talked about this
because when you're on stage and you got an audience and you're killing it. I'm thinking, I'm good at what I do. I can do this. I just need the part that I don't do taking care of, the social media, the advertising, the publicity, and all that other yin yang stuff. Take some.
Right.
Who did it well?
Dane Cook.
And just recently, he just died. David Arnold. He took his act and he split it up into little 30-minute chunks and he put it on the internet like that. So he took his 45, but he made little vignettes, put it on the internet, blew up, got the Netflix special, and died, unfortunately. But
I don't know this guy.
I don't know. Yeah, fill us in.
I don't know this story.
Dave Arnold. You should listen to another podcast, the Kevin Hart one with Kevin Hart. It's Comedy Gold Mines, I think it's called.
Wait a minute. You're on our podcast promoting another podcast and telling us to go listen to that?
Wait, don't listen to this guy.
Steve,
stick around, folks.
I thought you loved
Kevin Hart's podcast, for Christ's sake. You do know who Kevin Hart.
All right.
All right, we'll let it slide this time.
So David Arnold, now he's a comic who, I mean, been around. How come I don't know his name?
He's been grinding for 25 years. Workhorse, good comic. And
that's weird.
During the pandemic, he said he broke his act up into little vignettes in 3-minute segments, put it out on the web. He's like, got to the punchline fast, bing, bang, boom, blew up, got a crazy following, hooked up with Kevin Hart, and was able to get a Netflix special on his own. 2 of them. He just died 8 months ago.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Holy shit. I got to check this out. Did you know him? Like a friend or just okay.
Sorry to hear that, man. Sorry.
He was a workhorse comedian. He was one of those guys like, that's a good guy. Did it the right. He was smart.
Hey, sad that he passed, but at least that he got a couple of brass rings. You know, that's the takeaway.
Usually you know those names though, because every guy, you know, I mean, we've all been in this 25, 30 years, whatever. You know the name of the guys who are out there. You know, it's like when people go, who's your favorite comic? I'm like, it doesn't matter. You don't know them. I'm not going to name George Carlin. I'm going to name, Steve White or Jimmy Pardo and they're like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, well, that's your problem. You should find out because they're fucking good. Yeah, I mean,
Louis Black, Steve White,
Al Ducharme. Oh yeah,
I was doing colors. I was doing colors.
Oh, you'd be in there.
Black and white. I wanted to do that with Louis Black.
Dude, that would be awesome. That would be incredible.
I'll open.
Yeah, great. Thanks. I had that on New Year's Eve 2 years ago. I'm in New Year's Eve, McCurdy's. New Year's Eve, it's a fun crowd, but let's get it over with before midnight. And they have like 3 guest sets. And I'm like, all right. And then Steve White comes walking in the guest room. I'm like, hey, Happy New Year. What are you doing? He goes, I'm going to do a guest set. I'm like, fuck. God damn it. What are we doing here? And he goes up and crushes, and then I got to do 40 after that. Thank you, man. Then he leaves. He just comes in, crushes, and leaves.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man. Thank you.
Well, what I'm thinking about doing next, because you got to stay relevant, this little place that I'm in right now, I might rent this out because a lot of people pay a lot of money to be where I live. Canadians, snowbirds, and all that. And I go to these beaches with Carnival and Royal, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm rent this thing out and make sense. He said, if you let me rent your house out 4 months of the year, we can make your whole annual mortgage. I was like, okay.
Do it. Because if you're doing these cruises, book the cruises, stay in a hotel a few nights here and there, but make that money. You know what I mean? Just crank it out. And then you can hire a TikTok guy. TikTok guy.
There you go.
Or girl.
Have you done, Steve, everyone's doing a special nowadays, but have you done anything where you've recorded 45 or 30 or an hour and it's available for people?
I'm actually going to record at McCurdy's, but the guy approached me about the open bar.
Yeah.
And Flip Schultz, Flip Schultz, he did it. I'm trying to figure out some feedback from him to see how it went. I don't know if I'm a dry bar guy, just no language and stuff like that in Utah.
The things I hear, I was going to do it and then I didn't. I did the open bar at McCurdy's. That dry bar, it is like, hell, damn. Anything. They're freaking out about it. They said the pressure, but before you go on stage, they just keep bombarding you with what you can't say. And then the money's going way down. And I think last I heard, you were flying yourself out to Utah, putting yourself up for a 30-minute clip of clean comedy that doesn't even represent who you are in my mind. So I don't know. I don't see it. But
how'd the open bar go for you?
It was good. Very good. I'm going to do another one in December. And it went really well, and it got some really, some good looking clips out of it, and I like the whole thing. I mean, it's a special shot in a comedy club, so it kind of looks like what it is, but I'm happy with it. And like I said, he wanted me to do another one. I'm like, yeah, I'll do another.
I met the guy. I forgot his name. I got his card.
Ron
Feingold.
Feingold.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
I was there for a taping of one. I don't know whose it was, and we're just chopping it up. So
no, he's a good guy. He's one of those guys. I never met him, but his pictures in the comedy. Every time you go to a comedy club, his pictures on the wall. He's one of those working comics. And he approached me. We had him on the podcast about a month or two ago to promote it a little. And yeah, good guy, man. You should definitely, I think you'll have a good experience doing it.
Lovely.
Absolutely lovely. Lovely.
Yes.
So any future military stuff? Is that always what's the score? Djokovic is
I think it's over. Yeah, he must have won.
He won?
Now team is playing Sissipas. If you're a Wimbledon tennis type person. Dominic team is playing Sissipas, the Greek guy.
No. I follow the big guys. That's it. The big names. After that, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Djokovic, Medvedev, Carlos Alcaraz,
and Nadal. That's it.
How about the broads?
No, this is Sabalenka. She's like gigantor. She's beautiful.
Yeah? I don't know her.
You know who I'm talking about?
She's the next star. I know who you're talking about. Is she Russian or Ukrainian?
No. She's not. No, she's like Slovenia or something.
Slovenia or something. Yeah.
Ah, like a bartender on a cruise
one of
ship.
those countries that was broken up and they made them speak Russian, but now they taken back their own language.
No.
I don't know.
No. That was awful. That was absolutely terrible. I sat back because I thought Al knew what he's talking about. Then I'm like,
I'll put a clip up.
Okay.
I'll do more military if I'm asked. Sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
Why not?
Yeah. Did you do Iraq, Afghanistan? Did you do any of that stuff?
Just did Okinawa and Mount Fuji and Gitmo.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mount Fuji. What happened?
You were actually in the Navy, right, Al?
I was I did 4 years.
And
4 years of his life.
What's that?
Submarine work? Anything like that?
No, I like to be above the water line, and I was on shore duty for 2 years, and then the USS Guam for 2 years. So got a little of the best of the both of them, and then 4 years realized I'm good. Time to get out. That was fun.
But they wanted you to stay.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Always want.
Well, if you can walk and talk and chew gum, they want to re-enlist you, and they throw a lot of things at you. But that's 6 years. Then you're at 10, and if you're at 10, well, you might as well do 20 and retire. So right. I was like, no. I want to get out. I want to go tell jokes somewhere on Long Island.
You golf also, right? Romas?
No, I don't know. No. I did. I played. I used to play, and then I never got better. I'm one of those guys. I never got better.
Same here. I have 2 sets of clubs.
Yeah, everyone tells you, "Oh, we suck. Don't worry about it." Then I go out there, and they're all fucking good.
Don't fall for that one.
I'm like this.
I lost 18 balls.
Yeah. We all suck. Okay.
Holy Christ!
You seem pretty good.
Why don't you carry my clubs?
85 is pretty good. Who are you working with this week, Steve? That's already passed, but
Rob Churchill is actually featuring for me.
Oh, I know Rob.
He works at Sanctuary Golf Club in Sanibel Island.
See what Steve does here. I see it.
I'll tell you what.
I see where you go. I see how you work.
You can feature for me. Give me a round of golf.
When I get off the Harmony, drive across Alligator Alley, stop at Sanibel Island. Golf.
Perfect.
You have a nice system, my friend. You have a very nice system in there.
Yeah. Rob's a pro, right? Does that mean that's what I was thinking of?
He's a good golfer. He's a really good golfer.
He was a pro, I think, at one of the clubs. I met him at Visani's, I believe he was hosting a few times. Yeah. Boston guy, right? Boston guy?
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't know this guy.
Yeah, just local Boston guy. But I think after your time, Al, in being in Boston. He's only been doing comedy a few years.
Okay.
But that's a good show. He'll MC, he'll host, and Is Les in town, or are you getting a?
Les is in Prague. He sent me a text. He's like with his wife in Prague.
Hey, that's a home run, man. I mean, I love Les, but
He may come back
When
alone.
he's out of town.
Sorry.
I'm just
Three different jokes going on there.
I'm just no. It's we all love Les, but
Less of less.
not the worst thing. Not the worst thing to get that show moving along.
He's not going to get this far into the podcast, so we're not worried.
No, not in. No way. He's in Prague. Good for him. I'm glad he's enjoying his money in Prague.
Yeah,
Not wasting it on comedians. Okay,
that he was going to sell the club. I don't know what happened to that.
really?
Can you still
Well,
make
everyone's
money
selling.
if you
Everyone's
buy a
selling.
club now? Can you make money, or do you have to own it for 10, 20 years?
No idea. It's all in the
I
alcohol.
think right now you can make money because I would buy if I bought. Well, I don't know about Sarasota, but if I bought a comedy club, I'd be all over. I'd be doing the same
But
thing.
you have to pay the
Booking these
premium of the
podcast
club,
guys and booking everything.
right?
I
But
wouldn't give a shit.
the premium of the club, and then you have to make a profit on top of that. So that's where guys get into, hey, we got to cut back the money, and then the quality of the club can sometimes suffer unless you have a lot of capital. I'm just throwing stuff out here, but if you want to speak to my accountant, Steve White, he's right there.
He pays his taxes, folks. Let it be known.
Or you could be laundering money, as some comedy club owners do.
Yeah.
Remember those guys? Yeah, where how come there's no one here and you guys are always
Hey, don't
open?
worry
Things
about it. Just get up
there's-
there and tell your jokes, funny man.
Yeah, Toppers. Anyone remember Toppers in Brooklyn? Yeah, what was going on there?
Well, where was Toppers again?
That was in Brooklyn under the gym, under a Gold's gym on the Belt Parkway.
God, I don't even know if I've ever been.
Yeah, you had to do Toppers. It was like 1990 to 95.
I remember Pips.
That was I never did Pips, but Toppers had a doorman named Rocky, who was literally central casting. And then one day I got there and I was talking to someone. I go, hey, where's Rocky? They go, Rocky's gone. I go, oh, he left.
What do you mean he's gone?
Rocky's gone. He's gone.
Hey,
He's gone.
Scene
Like, oh
from-
shit. Okay.
Scene from Goodfellas. He's gone. What?
Yeah. But that
What the
was
fuck
one of
you
those
talking
clubs.
about?
They didn't care about the show. It didn't matter. Whatever. Just, let's get this over with so we can get this cash in and out. But my first time there, Ray Romano was the middle act.
Wow.
And they brought in some LA comic who had played a keyboard, who had done like Evening at the Improv. And they brought him in. So Ray goes up
Mistake.
in Brooklyn and just destroys. I mean, I fucking killed. And then this poor bastard gets up there and he's like, everybody sing along. And they're like, fuck you, get out of here. And the next night he's gone. And it was me, Ray, and like Joey Cola. They sent LA guy home and went, here you go.
They
Get
used
out
to
of
do
here."
that in Boston all the time. Bill Blumenreich had the comedy connection down at Faneuil Hall. So you already have a built-in audience. And then he put on the best Boston comics before some celebrity type act because he was asking a large sum of money. And then he goes, well, if you want to come back, you got to cut your money down because you can't follow these local guys. Then those guys started bringing their own opener.
Right.
Lenny,
Otherwise, they couldn't survive following Gavin
But
and Lenny and
what
Sweeney.
nowadays it's tough too for comics because all these headliners are bringing their buddies with them to feature.
Less work. Yep.
So there's no more feature work the way we knew it.
Mhm.
It's seemingly that's another thing, and there's no money in it. So
Hmm.
it's
But I do
Real
remember
tough out there.
making headliner money as a feature in Boston. Like the headliner money today, we were making as features and
Did you go up there,
openers.
Steve? Boston? Did you do
No,
Knicks? and
I
all
never
that?
did Knicks. I never got into that. I did one show and I almost got my ass kicked because I said, it's great to be here in Worcester. It's Worcester. all right. Got it.
Worcester.
Looks like Worcester to me, but that's the only one.
Yeah. Okay.
Another guy who went
Barry
following
Katz had a bunch of rooms there.
Bob Marley lives in like New
Maine.
Hampshire, Maine. Yeah.
Maine.
Right.
Yeah. Bob Marley's, he's got quite the following. He's huge.
3 months ago, he's at Bassani's for the week, packed every
Yep.
show. Time to say hello. Everybody in there was an albino. I mean, they were white.
Right.
Because they're all from up there coming down for the summer,
Sure.
snowbirds and stuff like that. But just killed it 3 days in a row, 3
Yep.
nights. All
He's
sold
been
out.
doing
Wow.
that for decades. He used to
Wow.
open up when I was going up there to headline. He'd come in. First, he was the opener, then the feature, then he was headlining, and then co-headlining. And he was putting asses in seats So then the owner
What
finally
was
made
it?
him permanent headliner.
What was it? Was he doing any social media at that time? Was it just word of mouth, or was he just
Word of
killing?
mouth, grassroots.
What built that? Yeah.
Just doing the main guy, and then he recorded like 7 CDs, all local humor, and even now his videos he's getting these 500,000 views.
And he mentioned like the freeways up there and the department stores, and the crowd goes crazy. Oh yeah, we know, sweetie.
Yeah,
Right.
He has his niche. Yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting. There's so many guys like that who really the general public does not know.
Justin McKinney is another one.
Sell out like Justin McKinney. Go to New Hampshire or whatever and sell it. But who is he? Yeah, it's.
But he's not working. He's not working like we are. He's not doing the 250 shows a year. He's doing special.
Not a
events.
real comic. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's doing them, but he'll take a few weeks off, work on the act, and then do a theater, sell out. But he doesn't have to because he's got a door deal.
I'm gonna host that show, Comics You Don't Know But Should.
There you go.
Huge.
Not bad. Not bad.
But it has to be on TikTok.
Yes, I'll have my assistant do that. My 20-year-old.
All right, very good. Anything else, Al, for Steve White before we cut him loose here?
I'm just happy you came on and you gave us the time here, man. And I feel like we could do 7 hours with you. So if you had fun, please think about coming back in the future. We'd love to have you back.
Come on, guys. Absolutely. No brainer. This is easy. It's hot outside.
It is hot. It is hot.
Let me know, man. I'm sure somebody wants to rent a house for $15,000 a month.
There we go.
How can we find you? Tell everybody how we can find you.
I am on the Instagram at the @symbol. That's how old I am. I have to do this. @Steve Ain't White. Steve Ain't White.
I love that.
No refunds.
No refunds.
All right. Thanks so much, buddy. We appreciate it. Absolutely.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
I'll see you out there.
Have a great week.
Thank you.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
So long, man. Have a good trip. F*** you.
Iceberg, dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the 2 Al's 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What? Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/forward2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.